me.
Right.
Jerk, okay, the jerk,
How much dip are you looking for out of the jerk?
not much.
So-
It's not the hard, this is hard stuff.
Yeah.
This, you'll die. Your legs will peter out before you do.
So as
Because
long as they see your hip and your knee bend when
the
you...
double dip.
Yeah.
My elbow gets locked out before my legs. That's what they're looking for. So if you watch, I go down, lock, lock. Number one, number two. If it does this, and then I'm still moving, no count. So your elbow has to lock before your knees. When I get heavier, you're going to see this. Because I need to get that weight up. The double dip, that first dip is where everything drives from.
Yeah.
Here to get it off my hip. It's hard with the glue, it's not heavy enough. If I start jerking with the green, you notice my form has to change a little bit. This is a...
So how often in competition do you miss reps?
You don't want to miss any reps. Because you may have, what happens if your timing is for 11 a minute and you fuck up a rep? Then you're one short at the 5-minute mark. So now you have to make up with it the other arm. So it depends on...
Okay.
With that being said though, when Misty's done her rank,
I always do a couple
counts
extra.
for her, she does a couple extra.
I always try to
Just in
fit in.
case there's one or two in there that they don't count.
I always do extra.
So what, instead of doing 10 a minute, you try to do 11 a
11,
minute
yeah,
for the whole thing?
yeah. So I get a little bit of free weight just in case I start screwing up stuff because I'm tired. So,
And you go in knowing how many reps you plan on doing in the
exactly.
10-minute cycle.
Yeah, everything I practice is, right now, I practice for 4 months, 12 reps a minute with the yellow. 5 minutes each arm. You are boogieing. Because you have to lock out that rep too. So if I'm going 12 reps a minute, I have to
We
make
did
sure I have a
8, right?
lockout, yes. So, and then I have that lockout too at 12. So this is 8, I have lots of time. Lots of time.
So you spend a
12
lot more
reps
time
a
in the
minute?
rack.
12 reps a minute. I bounce it right off really fast because I don't have time if I want a good lockout.
So you lose your time in the rack position.
Yeah, I don't have a rest. That's my rest. My rest is only out there at the lockout. So it's all strategy, eh? It's strategy. It's everything's strategy in this, right? How many reps do I have to get for, not to win, but to get my rank? Everything, right? So you have to work it all out. Calves. I go back down again and I lock. That second drive is when I'm underneath my weight. So here, because it's in my hip, I go down and I drive off my calf to get it off my hip. Then I bend under it, my elbow locks up, and then I lock. When I release the bell, because I don't want to do it under control, I relax my legs to let it sink. A lot of times my feet will go up a little bit, so I go, so I catch it again. I relax completely. All my arm is doing is guiding that weight down. That's all it is doing is guiding it. That's it. There's no strength involved, there's no tire. You don't have time if you're doing 55 reps in a very short time. You don't have any time for this crap.
So now you always wear Ollie shoes when you do this?
I always wear it. I got heel spurs I used to wear those vibrant shoes. I like bare feet work because of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And boom, 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 and I have a platform at home. And all of a sudden I got this weird pain in my foot. And then it started to up to my my calf. Mind you, might have been from the injury issues that I was having. I got heel spurs from it. I don't know if you ever had them, but plantar fasciitis is a horrible, horrible thing to have. You can't walk. So I realized, oh my God, it's my heels. So I moved to a shoe and it's much better. I like a nice solid fit.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear them, but at least like what you're wearing. It's hard with Brian because he's got an inch, right? He's got difference. He's got thicker, and same with Renee. Goes thick and thin, so he's actually here. You're on a flat shoe, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Typically I wear Ollie shoes,
that's
but I
mine.
usually Ollie lift, right?
Yep.
So yeah, normally I always lift. I like a hard shoe now. It took me a while to get used to it, but once I got used to it, that's all I lift in. Like if I don't do any kettlebells unless I have my shoes on, I won't do it. I like to wear my shoes. It's superstitious, I guess. So in my hip, drive it up, lock my elbow, and straight up. I don't care about my back.
No, I know, but it's not.
Down.
My sister.
Bend, up, that gets the bump, because I need to, see this?
Yeah.
That's what I want, this
Now,
bump.
you being so forward on your knees, you don't find that
Yeah,
hard on your knees?
No, and I've got El Crapo ease, especially with the left one right now.
So you're pushing it out with like your tummy almost?
Yep, yeah, it's your hips, see, I got
Or
my
your hips?
It's in my bone right now, right now it's
Ah.
touching my bone. So right now, my little hip bone here, it's in my bone. This elbow's in my bone. When I do the first bump, that's to get it off, so I don't have to lift it with my shoulder. My shoulder's actually relaxed. Right now, if you feel it, relaxed. Now it tensions in a couple seconds as I start to lift. Instead of having to be tension here, I don't lift from here. I start lifting, I lift there. So you gotta get that bounce off that hip to get the true jerk. So,
So it's a little different than when we're jerking a barbell.
yeah, just a little bit different, but the same
Barbell,
concept.
you wanna sit back a little bit.
Right, right. It's just a little bit different, but it's the same concept. It's the double dip.
Yeah.
You need the drive and this, especially when you get those heavyweights, you really gotta get underneath of it, right? Because it's a lot of weight. So with one bell or two, it's up to you. But play with the jerk a little bit. I'm gonna try to go around it. So I just warm up this way. That's how I got to do explosive. Then,
Now don't let your feet leave the ground.
so it's two motions.
Okay, so let's try.
Down, up, and under. So that's how to do the jerk.